Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, I am going to be giving you my review of the match between the Hurricanes and the Blues that has just taken place. It was a very exciting one, and if you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, let's get right into this review. So the match started, and it didn't take very long at all before we started to see some points on the board. It was the Blues that were able to strike first. Dalton Papali'i was able to intercept the ball from a big pass, went through the hands of Fifita, although he didn't actually know it was coming at him. Fifita, and then Dalton Papali'i got it and then was able to score a try and got the Blues in the lead. And at that stage they were leading 7-0 over the Hurricanes, but then it didn't take long at all for the Hurricanes to strike back. It was the big man Asafa Amua, the number 2 for the Hurricanes, who looks like he is going to be a big threat this season. He was able to drive forward, break in tackles flat out, and then he was able to get the ball over the line. But Jordie Barrett in that situation, unfortunately for the Hurricanes, did miss that kick, so that made the score 7-5. And then from there, for the next kind of like 20 to 25 minutes, it went very quiet, the game. Like, not too much was happening, a lot of penalties. And then at the very end of the first half, Jordie Barrett was able to kick over 2 penalties. And something else that happened at the end of that first half was the fact that James Blackwell did end up getting a yellow card, because there were a lot of penalties against the Hurricanes. The Blues scrum was looking like the more dangerous of the two, and they were just going to it every time there was a penalty up until that last kind of 5 minutes or so, and then Jordie Barrett started slowing them over from 50 metres like it was nothing. He was just tapping them over for fun, Jordie Barrett, although there was a kick later on that is a little bit controversial, but we will get to that a bit later on in the video. So halftime came around and it was 7 to the Blues, 11 to the Hurricanes. So everyone felt that the Blues should have been leading after that first half with all of the attack that they had and all of the penalties against the Hurricanes. And in this situation, the Blues, they took a big gamble, and at one stage they did show a stat that was the amount of kickable penalties that the teams had turned down. The Hurricanes hadn't turned down any, but the Blues had turned down, I believe it was 8. So the Blues were taking a huge gamble with going to the corner, but it was just leading to the Hurricanes getting penalised almost out of the game in that first half. But in the end, they were actually able to have that lead going into half time. So the second half, it started a little bit similar to the first half in regard that it didn't take too long until we did get to see points on the board. I believe the next try was for Caleb Clark. It was off a cross kick from Oteri Black. They did have the penalty advantage once again, so then they did use that to their advantage, and Oteri Black did do the bounce cross kick, and Caleb Clark was able to score the try. Now, a player that we should talk about, I feel, before we move too much further on, and that is Akira Ioane. He had 10 carries in this match, 2 offloads, and 3 broken tackles. He was looking very strong for the Blues. And something else that I feel like I should talk about for a moment is the fact that pretty much in that first kind of 5 minutes, whatever I was saying was happening in the game, and I don't know what it was, but it was the likes of, before Dalton Papali'i's try, I had just finished talking about on the live stream. I was saying about how in these last 2 encounters between the Hurricanes and the Blues, he is the only player who has been able to score in both matches. And then about a minute later, Dalton Papali'i, he did score the try, and I got very excited about that, as some of you guys would have known when you were watching that live stream. And then the next thing I mentioned was the fact that the Hurricanes, throughout the previous encounters, there have been a lot of tries for their hookers. So I said more than likely that Asafa Amua would be getting a try, and in the end he got 2, but he did get that try pretty much straight after I said that as well. So I was, at that stage, I was a little bit puzzled at the fact that everything that I had been saying was happening, so I didn't really know what to say next, to be honest, but we will move on to the next tries now. So I did mention just before that Asafa Amua was able to get 2 tries in this match, and he was indeed. The second try came from almost that rolling maul situation once again, and then the Blues kind of got confused at who had the ball in that situation. So there was almost a maul forming to one side, then Asafa Amua was on the back of another, and then he broke off, and he has got some pace. When he puts the foot down, Asafa Amua was able to run straight up the middle and score his second of the match. And at that stage it looked like the Hurricanes were right back into that match, but then after that, Fixtures was able to get the try. It was a backline movement from the Blues. They may have had a penalty advantage for that one as well, I'm not too sure though, but it was a backline movement. Oteri Black got the ball, then sold the dummy to Jordie Barrett, sent him that way, and then he passed it to Fixtures in the number 15 jersey, who was able to score the try. And then after that, Karefi came on the field, and it was an interesting start for the man because of the fact that he had already been penalised about probably 2 or 3 times within the first 5 minutes of being on the field, and he ended up getting a yellow card as well, Karefi. But I did see that he actually made 8 tackles, which was almost the highest number for any Hurricane, and he only had that kind of like last 25 minutes, so that was pretty impressive to see that stat But yeah, unfortunately for him, did end up with the yellow card. And then from there was one final try in the tank for the Blues. Did end up going to Rieko Ioane. He was playing centre for this match, but ended up way out on the left wing. And from there, he did have plenty of pace. Rieko Ioane was able to run to the try line and put the ball down. And from there, it did seem like the Blues had this one in the bag because of the fact that there were only a few minutes left at that stage. So I did mention earlier about a kick for Jordie Barrett. Do let me know in the comments whether you guys thought this kick was over or whether it wasn't. But pretty much, it was going, I would say, pretty much straight over the top of one of the posts. And it was very hard to say whether or not it was going through or not. It was, in the end, not counted as going over. But the commentators for the game seemed a little bit confused. And I'm still on the fence, to be honest. I'm not too sure whether or not it was a conversion. So do let me know in the comments what you think. Also, there was a try opportunity for Ardie Savea. He sold his massive dummy that he's known for in his 100th game for the Hurricanes. But unfortunately for him, he was held up. So that ended up not being a try for the man. And that would have been pretty awesome if he was able to score in his 100th match. But talking to the Savea brothers, Julian Savea, he was putting in a shift out there tonight. He was looking pretty strong with ball in hand. Also, he was covering a lot of ground. Made a couple crucial tackles on Mark Talia, but then saying that Mark Talia did the same on Julian Savea. They were able to shut him down decently, but I feel like as the season goes on, he is just going to get stronger and be able to score a few tries in the future. So the way the table is sitting at the moment, it means that the Blues are going to be in first place for this one. Unfortunately for the Hurricanes, they don't receive the bonus points. So as it stands at the moment, it is the Blues in first, the Crusaders in second, and then it is going to be, I guess you could say, the Chiefs in third because they haven't actually played a match. And then it is the Highlanders and then the Hurricanes. And next week, the fixtures that we have on the cards, hopefully, the alert levels have just been changed. So hopefully they go back down and we will be able to get to see the games next week. It will be the Chiefs versus the Highlanders at FMG Stadium, I believe. And that is on Friday night. And then on Saturday, it is going to be a big one, Crusaders versus the Hurricanes. That is going to be a very exciting matchup, and hopefully we do get to see it take place. But anyway, I think that's going to be the end of this review. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talking. Definitely, if you did tune in for the live streams, we are going to be doing live streams for every game of Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new. And pretty much we just have a chat on there, talk about the game while it is happening, and it is a lot of fun. But anyway, that is going to be the end of this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.